We should indeed, guys. Welcome. We are on Whirlwind, of course. This is a best-of-5 challenger match before we get into the team kill that will be Harstem versus Nama, which I think will actually be an incredibly thrilling best-of-9. Lots of mind games going on when people are teammates, but these two are definitely not. Spawning in the bottom left-hand position as the blue Zerg player. I think I've just noticed he actually has a skull as the... as a little portrait next to that hatchery, so pretty cool. Our blue Zerg, representing Roar Gaming, it is Phamut. His opponent, in the top right position, also a Zerg player, but in the red this time around, we have Jamesykins.
Now, both of these two were at the ESET UK Masters 2013 finals. They both got through to the group stages. They are both newly in Grand Masters, so they are very, very good. Some of the most talented players in the UK. And neither of them decided to go for a hatch first opening, which is quite unusual at this level, especially on Whirlwind. Usually you see a 15 hatch, 16 pool.
I've just realized something. In the Team Liquid thread, Phamut's listed as Protoss, and I was very confused.
We should blame someone for that. I wonder who it is who makes those threads.
It couldn't possibly be the person who's observing this game at all.
No, not at all. Who can hear us, but can't hear him, so it's really quite good.
It is indeed. So we have hatcheries going down for both players at the moment. Of course, a couple of lings on the way from Jamesykins, just going to be scouting a little bit around the map. Overlords, as you can see, just moving about to confirm that opponents are not in, are basically going to be cross positions. Jamesykins will know that shortly as well. And really, the start of ZVZ hasn't changed too much between Wings of Liberty and Heart of the Swarm.
No, the only big kind of meta-game change that I've seen is that some people do favour not being as aggressive, just to really rush out Mutalisks. And that's the real mid-game change, is Mutas are so popular at the moment, just due to the health regeneration, the fact that Infestors are a lot more difficult to get fungal growths down on packs of Mutalisks, so just generally it tends to be Muta on Muta.
Oh, for sure. Like, very, very difficult a lot of the time for Infestors to, I mean, especially with Fungal Growth being a skill shot now, you see a lot more missed Fungals. It's that much more difficult to really pull it off going into the late game unless your control and your timing specifically are excellent. So a lot of Muta versus Muta is prevalent at the moment in ZVZ for that reason.
There are some timing pushes you can hit, though, let's be fair. With Roach Hydra, for example, can deal with low numbers of Mutalisks if you are aggressive, but the reason that's kind of phasing out just for pure Mutalisks is because as the Mutaflock grows, it becomes increasingly harder to engage effectively with Hydras, especially defensively. It becomes a nightmare over, like, 2 bases.
Yeah, 2 base, it's... I mean, once you sort of get up to 3 bases and the Mutas can really fly around at will, for example, if you take a look, the 3rd base, sort of out towards the right-hand side of Phamut and to the left-hand side of Jamesykins, is separated by that chasm from the main base, making units like Hydras having to walk an awful long way to get between them, but Mutas would just be able to bounce here, there, and everywhere.
We've got some lings coming in.
Yep.
Yeah, these lings are doing a nice little bit of damage, getting a couple of worker kills. Only 2, but 2 at this stage of the game is better than nothing, and that's also giving a nice little scout. Sees the Baiting Nest, sees the Spine Crawler, everything that's going down. Also gets a scout on how many gas are there and the fact that gas is still mining, which is so important.
Just 2 workers killed at the moment, nothing major. In fact, both players are equal on 29 worker supply as it currently stands. And one thing we haven't mentioned so far in this game is actually we've seen Phamut have the new skins on both the Overlords and those Zerglings there.
I don't like the Zergling skin, but I love the Overlord skin.
You mean like the Raptor-style skin with the extra wings and stuff?
Yeah, I like it with before speed. I think they look pretty cool, but then once they get speed, I think there's too many wings there. Oh, good run by there. The Baiting only detonated on 1 Zergling, but Jamesykins not got enough lings coming in here to really do significant damage.
I think these Zerglings with the extra wings, I'm going to nickname them Hedgehogs, because that's what they look like when they run.
I have hedgehogs in my garden, like, nightly. They look nothing like that. I'm sorry, they just don't. No. More like porcupines. Porcupines are the ones
I don't
like
actually know what the difference is.
Porcupines have like the really long spikes.
Okay, alright, I'll go with porcupines. And the other thing I wanted to actually mention at this point is that, you know the Overlord skins?
Yeah.
I always think of them as Overlords in like Broodlord Halloween costumes.
No.
Cape on.
What they are, they're Batlords. They look like Batman. Batman capes on. That's what they are. Battles all the way.
Oh my goodness, playing superhero here. It looks like a single Baneling is going to die a rather sad and lonely death out here in the middle of the map as Jamesykins has a couple of Zerglings. Just going to see if he can continue to poke around. Phamut, though, making the transition into a lot of roaches as Jamesykins is the first one here to go for that Spire. So Phamut investing very, very heavily in his ground army early on. We see no layer tech out of him just yet, just roaches, Zerglings, and Banelings. He's going to go for an all-out assault here.
He's got to, though. He's going to make this push very, very soon because, of course, once that Spire finishes, there is going to be mutas on the field, and Phamut is going to have a big, big problem in order to deal with those, mainly due to the fact that he's got no lair tech. So the only thing he can actually attack them with is Queens and Spores. So, push coming across the map. It is spotted by the Overlords of Jamesykins. Can Jamesykins prepare in time?
Second Spine Crawler, about 3/4 of the way complete. The army supply at the moment is 48 to 34 in favor of Phamut. A lot of Banelings coming in from Jamesykins here, and they can still be effective against roaches as well, provided that they're very, very bunched up. And I think that's what Jamesykins is going to try and rely on here for his defense. Phamut getting ready. It looks like he's going in.
He is going in. The roaches are taking a bit of damage. The Banelings come waddling forwards. They get some good connections, but the important thing is getting them on all of their. But Banelings coming in now for as well, and we see they get through, but the Spines focus them all down, and that was a good defense by Jamesykins there.
I do not like what... Oh dear, very nice Baneling connection there, picking apart a lot of those porcupines, and now the Spines are going to go hard at work. There are a lot of Lings with this army, actually, and it looks like Jamesykins might lose this specific battle, but he has got 12 Lings and 4 more roaches on the way. Will he be able to hold on? His resupply distance is very, very small compared to Phamut here, and even though there are more units streaming across the map, it looks like this army will be defeated. One thing I really want to point out there, Mattles, Phamut sent a lot... Oh, wow. And that's that.